That hurt quite badly, but it didn't sound very loud. I'll do another one.
That was pretty good.
It's because I didn't cut my hands.
Yeah.
Like, just the fingers like...
That one had a bit more low end.
Yeah.
A bit more low end in it.
Stings a bit.
Yeah.
Oof. Oh, no, I did not have a hard fall. I'm okay. I did not fall. Thank you, Watch.
Everything is fine.
Okay. I'm now ready to go.
Okay.
Get it? Because the website is oscarsgo.com. Oh, no, it used to be. I don't think it is anymore.
It's
Anyway,
just oscars.org.
yeah, it used to be something go. I don't know why.
I'm using en.m.
No.
Wikipedia.
No, you have to use
You gotta
this
use
one.
the website, Matt.
Why? Hello and welcome to another episode of the RedLaughRiot podcast.
That was beautiful.
I'm Matt.
We've started talking now.
I'm
You're going to finish
Michael.
yourself. And I'm Ben.
Yeah, let's just jump straight into it.
Oh, yeah,
with
that's
our
right.
first segment, which
Reading
is
the headlines. First one is from one of my favorite subreddits, Not the Onion,
good.
which is a title that sounds like it's from The Onion, but it's not.
The
It's
Onion being a satirical
news website.
Yeah.
Shaquille O'Neal says that gorillas freak out when he comes near, and Zoo Miami executive confirms.
I mean, it makes sense. He's a big guy. They're probably a bit confused. Is that really a headline?
Yeah.
Is that like a full-on piece of news?
Yes.
What-
This is from
does it-
insider.com.
Insider.com.
I was about to say, what publication did that actually come from?
Of course, if he did actually try to fight
He
a
would get
gorilla,
wrecked.
he would probably, or even step into their enclosure, he
Yeah.
could potentially very much get wrecked.
Yeah.
But it's so funny that they fact checked it with a person who works at the zoo being like, yeah, that actually happens.
Yeah, I know Shaq. He's my best friend. This is what the guy said.
Next, assuming there's nothing else to say on that, new intel suggests Russia is prepared to launch an attack before the Olympics end, sources say from CNN.com. Is China involved in this conflict?
Not that I'm aware of.
I just find it odd that they use the Olympics as a time metric when the Olympics is happening in Beijing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
weird.
that's got nothing. I kind of hate that, because most people probably don't even follow the Olympics.
Yeah.
I mean, but
It's
let's be honest, especially the Winter Olympics.
yeah, it's the Winter Olympics.
Yeah, but even was it last year we had the Summer Olympics, right?
Yeah.
And I was working in a place that was like, we're aiming to finish this job before the Olympics. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, so when's that?
Yeah.
I'm like, it's not helpful.
You'd rather just the actual time frame.
Yeah, be
Yeah.
like the end of the month is a
The
bit
end
of
of the
time
month.
frame.
Yeah.
When the Olympics
Just say
ends.
September.
Yeah.
Why just use? We already have defined metrics of time.
Yeah.
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 Okay, so why do they want to invade Ukraine? I don't know anything about the conflict or like the history.
It's a good chance it's just Putin waving his dick around.
Yeah.
NATO would kick in, and NATO has like 16 members or something. Probably more.
That's not many people.
16. How many does NATO? How big
you
is
mean countries?
How big is NATO? Yeah, I was talking countries.
Just a little gang of people.
How big is NATO? That's what I need to know.
Are you Googling it?
Yeah, I'm googling it. I need to know.
I think it's okay.
I need to know.
I feel like it's time to just move on.
3.5. Yeah, move on to the next one, and I'll keep searching.
From NBA.
From where?
Carl from NBA.
Oh, basketball.
Yeah, this is yahoo.com. Carl Anthony Towns has been caught lying about his Wordle scores.
Oh yeah.
Wait, who is this?
Carl Anthony Towns.
Is that a
Some
basketball player?
Some basketball player.
Lying about Wordle.
Yeah.
I guess we haven't talked about Wordle.
Wordle
On this
is
podcast.
dope.
Wordle is great.
I've been playing a bit of Wordle.
Yeah.
Look, I have some problems, and my main problem is with the name, because what maybe it's unsubstantiated, but there used to be a website. I don't know if it still is. Probably still is. A website called Wordle.com, where you would go and you could put a bunch of words into a text box, and it would make a word cloud with like the biggest words would be the most used words. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, like that's what I've always known Wordle to be, like since like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And then the second thing is that Wordle is just Mastermind, except instead of colours, it's letters, which I think is a good twist on the game.
Yeah.
But it's like, I kind of hate it when something gets really big and viral, and everyone's like, check out this cool new thing. It's like, when like this is not necessarily original, and the name is like just is already been used. Like, can't just come up with a new name. I don't know. So that's why I haven't played it. I'm just like, I refuse.
I think I don't think you're giving it as like a cultural thing enough credit. Like yes, it isn't exactly like the most outstandingly original game, but like the simplicity of it, and like being able to share your scores, compare them with other people, there being a new one every day, everyone's got the same word, like that's where the magic of Wordle is. It's not just the game, and the game itself is fun, but like it's kind of that like community aspect where like you're getting people sharing it over Twitter or in their Facebook group chats or whatever, and like you get the little like thing that you can copy, and it's got the grid with the number showing your like process. Like I think that's the greatness of Wordle, and I think it's fantastic. I think it's like, it's great that there's something going viral that's like not some sort of game or challenge that isn't like somebody like putting a spoonful of cinnamon in their mouth. It's like a genuinely like interesting.
It's like wholesome.
Yeah, it is. It's super wholesome.
Yeah.
Unless the word was like penis or something.
Yeah, then we would have to.
Has that happened?
Shut them down.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would have to cancel Wordle.
I respect the idea of it. I'm just like, just you could have named it something different. I don't know.
By the way, popping to the last.
Are you really going to tell us how many?
30. 30 NATO states.
What do you think about Wordle?
Wordle is great. I've tried Wordle a lot.
Yeah.
I'm dumb as hell, so I usually cheat.
Nice. That just takes all of the enjoyment out of the game.
And when you say cheat, you mean you just look up the answer?
What?
When you, like, how do you cheat?
I like get the letters, and then you like enter the letters, and then it comes up with a bunch of words that it could possibly be.
Right.
So I'm just
is
not
there like a
using...
Wordle cheat website or something?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I do that. I cheat.
I understand cheating at Scrabble, and it's like a really complex game, but this is just Wordle. Like,
yeah, but otherwise I wouldn't get the answer at all.
But then one day when you get it right, without cheating, you'll feel so much accomplishment.
I'd rather just get at least get it in the 6, to be honest.
But that's not getting it.
Yeah, sure you're getting it.
You're not.
You are.
If you've looked up the answer or found a way to...
Well, it's just making it easier, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's too
It's not completely cheating.
No, you could like ask someone to give you a hint. But that's, I think, the extent of that. Like, as soon as you start like doing stuff like that, then...
So in your eyes, it is cheating?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Ben, am I cheating?
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's not as bad as lying about your scores. For like what reason? Why? Like, who cares?
Yeah, I don't really understand.
Like, if you get a bad score, just don't publish it.
Especially when you're like an NBA player.
Yeah.
It's just kind of pathetic.
Yeah.
Like, if you're like sitting there and you like, you're maybe like someone who like doesn't really have any friends or like wants friends, or, and you're like young or something, and you want to be like, oh, hey guys, like I got this Wordle, like, right. And like people are like, wow, like that's pretty innocent,
Yeah.
But when you're like an NBA player, as a successful sports person.
Or maybe he's not successful and he's trying to like boost
if you're
his
in the
ego.
NBA, I'd say you're pretty successful.
like on the on the lower end of the NBA,
it's
maybe.
still the NBA.
Okay.
Yeah.
But just don't lie about your Wordle scores, people.
Speaking of 5-letter words, there's another 5-letter word that is coming up in relevance other than COVID, which is Oscar without an S, which is not
Oscar.
really used at all, is it? Oscars is usually what we say.
You could say you get the Oscar.
You get the Oscar. There you go.
Yeah, of course it's used.
So, okay. Yeah, thank you.
So it's just the singular term.
It's just when I said Oscar, it just sounded wrong. It sounded just like a person's name, which it is. But,
it is, yeah.
It's a person's name. That's true.
Do you know that the Oscar is named the Oscar because some guy said, "Hey, that trophy looks like this guy I know named Oscar."
Yeah.
Is this a headline or a transition?
This is a transition.
It's definitely not a headline.
Okay.
Because I can't prove that is a fact. I just heard that at one point.
Yeah, I've heard that too. I think that's the story.
But you never know
sure.
with internet stories. It's like, this could just be some made up thing.
Could be.
Anyway, so it's that time of year where we go through all the nominees and we guess what's going to win it. We try and predict it. We try and get into the head of the Academy.
I don't know about you guys, but this is definitely, I think, my year where I've seen the least nominees out of probably any year since I got into movies. I've seen almost nothing. So this will be interesting.
Is that just because they haven't come out yet, or you just haven't been able to?
Well, no, there's some stuff in here like, like Tick Tick Boom and maybe a few other movies where like I maybe could have.
Right.
But I simply haven't. But
I'm
sure I will still win the predictions.
I've seen a fair amount, but not much.
I don't even know because I haven't looked at the list yet.
Yeah.
So.
Oh really? So you're like completely okay.
Fresh. I know a couple of them, but not all of them.
All right. So should we launch into it?
I guess so. Yeah. Does anyone have any overall impressions of the Oscars this year, or like?
Well, I mean, I guess I just don't know anything about them.
Yeah, it's interesting. It does feel like the Oscars, at least maybe it's just for me because I've like just not really watched as many of the films, but it does feel like, especially over since COVID, the Oscars have fallen hard in terms of like their cultural relevancy. I
feel like they were falling before
they were
COVID.
They were. But it feels to me like the last couple of years has been
Parasite, right? It's like,
well, that was just like one great year amongst maybe less great years potentially. Yeah. But I mean, you had like big stories, you had the stuff like can Parasite win? You had stuff like a few years before that, it was like, can Leo win the Oscar? This finally, there were like little stories and, stuff to do with like nomination controversies, like, things that like made news. And it feels like the Oscars don't really make news now.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like a pandemic will do that.
Just less people going to movies and all that stuff. But yeah,
I mean, in some ways it's sad that like these types of movies are, I guess, being thrown out there a bit less and like culture and stuff. People aren't hearing about some of these movies. But also I don't have any respect for the actual Academy or the Oscars themselves. Right. So like I don't really care that the Oscars are fading. I just feel like, if movies themselves fade, then that's sad. But
I just think it's sad because it does bring to prominence a lot of these kind of films.
Yeah, sure.
When they get these like big Oscar nominations and stuff like that, and people go out and see them, and I feel like maybe that like the pandemic is just less people are watching films. People are just streaming stuff. There's less of a like feeling that what you're watching is curated by other people. Like when you're kind of spending more time in cinemas and you're sort of watching stuff as it comes out, it's kind of like you just see what's there, but with streaming, it's like you've got everything all the time. And so does it matter if you're a new movie or not? Like they can just watch whatever they want from any year at this point because it's just so easy. So it just feels like whatever. Why would I watch this new Power of the Dog movie when I can watch Shrek for the 870th time?
Fair question. And it's a tough decision.
It's not. I never want to watch Shrek again.
It is for me.
I'm so done.
It is for me because I have no interest in watching Power of the Dog again.
Okay. So I've seen that movie twice.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I like it.
That's something we can discuss when it comes up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Which it's about to.
Yeah.
And
it will.
Actor in a leading role.
All right.
You spoiled it for yourself.
What are the nominees?
I've got to pull up the list that I'm about to read and discuss.
Who's gonna read the
nominees? Are Javier Bardem in Being the Ricardos, which I have never heard of, but he's great. Benedict Cumberbatch in The Power of the Dog. Andrew Garfield in Boom. I mean, the title was literally written in capitals and an exclamation mark, so I felt like I had to do that. Sorry, headphone users. Will Smith in King Richard and Denzel Washington in The Tragedy of Macbeth.
Okay, so what
do we think? What have we seen? Is the first question.
I've seen 3 of them. So Power, King Richard, and Tragedy of Macbeth. I don't care much from the Macbeth movie. I thought, well, in general, I just like I don't like the Shakespearean dialogue. I think it's just kind of cringe and unbelievable. And seeing actors like do it seriously, and it's like, I don't believe that this is a person would say this and say it in this way. Like it felt like the movie felt like you were just watching the stage play, which if you're a fan of the stage play, I understand you might enjoy. Yeah. But it didn't look like a movie. Like it looked like a stage play. Okay. Whereas like the 2015 Macbeth movie, it was a bit more adaptation in the script, and it was a lot more like gritty, grounded kind of film style and stuff. Production designs were all good and stuff. So I prefer that. Like, I like the story of Macbeth. I think it's like a good tragedy story. But then, all the long like soliloquies and everything. It's just like, what is this? People don't talk like this.
Yeah, but are people supposed? Is that what like? Are you supposed to go into
but like
a play like that thinking that people are supposed to talk like this?
Not necessarily, but like I should be able to believe that person's character, you know. But I just don't believe it when I see it like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So I've only seen Tick Tick Boom and The Power of the Dog.
I was going to say you haven't seen Power of the Dog. Jesus.
No, I've seen The Power of the Dog.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm like, I've heard great things about Andrew Garfield. How do you feel? Because you've seen both Tick Tick Boom and Power of the Dog, which I think are the two like front runners. Although I haven't seen Ricardo's. Yeah. I don't know anything about it.
I preferred Andrew Garfield and Tick Tick Boom. I thought he was amazing in it.
Yeah, there's probably more to him, eh?
Yeah,
like I feel like Benedict's character was like pretty one note. Like
no. All
right, here we go.
I wouldn't go as far. I don't know. I just prefer Garfield's performance over Cumberbatch's performance.
How could you say that Benedict Cumberbatch's character is one?
Nothing happens. He's just
like the most. He's like got this entire history.
He's just like.
He's like this guy who was like potentially like, we don't know for certain, but it seems like he was groomed by this guy when he was maybe younger or something, right?
What guy?
Bronco Henry.
Who's that?
Did you watch the film?
Did you watch the movie?
Wait. Bronco Henry wasn't a character in the movie, was he?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was you remember? It was just a photo of him. Okay. Right?
Full spoilers for Power of the Dog. Do you know what happened? Do you know the relationship with Bronco Henry? Do you know what that means?
It was like his mentor. That's all I know.
More than that.
That's all.
That's all no. So that is not all they said in the movie. They literally spoke about it. They literally talked about it. Cody Smith-McPhee's character and him.
Remember. It was such an unmemorable movie.
Man, what the... Nah, you got to watch this movie again. I'm not even kidding. There's so much complexity to him. It's like he was like seemingly possibly groomed by this guy, and if not groomed, maybe they just had some kind of romantic relationship, him and Bronco Henry, when you know... before Bronco Henry passed away. Okay. And now he's like obsessed with Bronco Henry. He literally goes at one point earlier on in the film and he just goes in the barn and just sits on the dude's saddle. Like he really, you know, he's like got this like strange reverence for this guy. And do you remember when Cody Smith-McPhee found the fucking gay porn?
No.
What? Bro. Did you watch this movie, bro? You like missed an entire dimension of the movie. Like probably the most intriguing dimension of the film.
Which is like grumpy old man. Like
no, he's a great. But there's a reason why. Like there's so many. There's like oh my Jesus, bro. You're missing so much context and like psychological value out of this movie.
This is amazing.
No, my God, man, what the hell? No, like he's like this tortured person who's been through this really weird relationship where basically it feels like he might have been groomed by this guy or something, and then now he's like basically decided to take this like other guy under his wing, and then you start to like get this sense of like, oh, maybe that's why he's a loner. He's in this like hyper masculine world, you know, and like, but he's obviously gay, you know, and then he takes an interest in this like kid, and it's kind of weird, and you don't really know what's going on there, and you don't know if he's trying to groom this kid or if he's just trying to emulate Bronco Henry and be a mentor again. Like there's so many dimensions to his to him, not necessarily just to the performance, but just to
the character as a whole.
I more mean in the sense of the character, but I just needed to say that because I can't believe you.
Like none of that made itself present to me when I was watching the movie.
It totally should have. There was even a scene.
I watched it in a cinema. I wasn't just like half paying attention on Netflix.
There was a scene where Benedict Cumberbatch literally talked about cuddling with Bronco Henry in the wilderness to stay warm, and it was very obviously meant to be a moment where you like fully realize. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
Yes.
I thought the movie was so boring. Just not like there's just nothing going on, and it's all these like annoying landscape shots of Otago, and like I'm supposed to believe
that's Montana.
That it's, like,
I understand
Montana.
that. I understand that.
That was quite a distracting thing for me because they had a lot of just here's a shot of some hills.
Do you remember what happened at the end? Do you remember that he poisoned him?
Yeah, it was what's that disease called that the cow got?
Anthrax.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it like wasn't, it wasn't like specific. That was kind of like ambiguous, I guess.
Yeah, vaguely. But I mean, it ended up, whatever. Anyway, sorry. Spoilers end.
But like, why?
Or not?
No, spoilers are still going. Okay. Not that. How could spoilers end help anyone who's listening? Like, yeah.
All right, whatever.
Basically, I just can't remember like why the guy. Why did the kid not like Benedict Cumberbatch?
Well, Benedict Cumberbatch like bullied him at the beginning of the film.
Apart from that,
literally took one of his paper flowers and like burned it in front of him.
He was a total dick.
And then later, and also like later on as well, when he like came out, at one point he was like playing with the dog. And then like Benedict Cumberbatch basically and his crew of people started going circles around him with their like horses.
I don't remember there being a dog in the movie at all.
It was very briefly. It was just there. It wasn't. It's not a major point in the film or anything. But yeah, like Benedict Cumberbatch was basically just like torturing this guy, and also just like totally like fucking with his mum, like just totally like messing her up as well. Yeah, so like there's a lot in there about that.
Man, I thought like the movie they were like going to go into the hills and find some gold or something. I thought something was going to happen, and it's just like
lots happened.
I'm a grumpy old man, and
so much happened. Did you? I feel like you fell asleep in the second half of the movie and don't remember or something. It's like
I did have to.
The whole second half of the movie
stepped out during one scene for a phone call, but that was like 1 minute.
Maybe that was the bit where he found the gay porn or something.
Maybe.
Because that was like the turning point.
Oh, okay. This will be like freaking No Country for Old Men all over again. If I missed that turning point shot.
What turning point shot?
The gay porn. You said it was a turning point.
You said No Country.
In No Country. So in No Country for Old Men, major spoilers. At the end of near the end of the movie, Josh Brolin's character, who walks in there? Somebody who walks into the motel, and sees the body on the ground. Oh, you missed it. Josh Brolin's family. There's a body on the ground. Somebody walks up. Oh, the cop, the sheriff or whatever. He walks up and he sees the body on the ground. There's a close, it's not close, it's like a, mid-wider shot of the body on the ground, and his face is like to the side, and I don't know why I just turned my head to the side. Anyway. And you can't really see his face, basically. Yeah. And he's just wearing some Mexican looking outfit. Yeah. And so I thought he was one of these gang members that had been shooting up the motel or whatever, and he was dead on the ground, and some dead guy on the ground. And then it cuts to some scene where it's Josh Brolin's dead, blah blah blah, and then you see him in the morgue, but you don't see his face. You never see his face. Yeah. And this whole time I was like, did he fake his death somehow or something? And then at the end there's this car crash. I'm like, oh, this is him. He's coming back, and it's just some random guy in a car. I'm like, and then the movie ends. I'm like, what happened to him? And Michael's like, he was dead. He died in the motel. I'm like, what? And we had to go back and look at it and pause on the frame and be like, is that Josh Brolin? I
did
not even see it.
I feel like it was extremely obvious.
And here's what's interesting. I read that there was an interview that one of the Coens did where they specifically said, we chose to make that a more vague shot as opposed to using a tight shot. They specifically chose to do that. Yeah,
you still know though. I didn't. You see him at the hotel, that literal hotel, just a bit before, and he's there, and he's wearing the same clothes.
I didn't pick. Whatever. How am I supposed to remember the clothes? Come on.
I don't know. You're just supposed to put the connections together because you're watching the movie.
Basically, my experience of that was marred by the fact that I literally didn't see it.
All right. After that major diversion,
I'm still money on Andrew Garfield.
So you're picking Andrew Garfield?
Yeah.
Who are you picking?
Okay. I think it's probably I think the middle three are actually all contenders,
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the outside pick and go Will Smith.
Really?
Interesting.
He was great, for sure. Have you seen it?
No, but I think like the idea of Will Smith winning an Oscar at this point in his career is probably something that the Academy would love.
I guess so. I feel like they would also
yeah.
really love Cumberbatch, though.
Oh yeah,
It's like,
I'm gonna go with Will Smith.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm tipping Will Smith.
Really?
All right, yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know.
Well, we'll
He's
see.
he's the one that's
I guess it's a biopic, too, so... It's
that sort of got the
actually,
most.
Andrew Garfield's one.
That's got the most sort of buzz to it. In terms of a performance. Also, though, I will say my head pick is Will Smith, but my heart pick is Andrew Garfield for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Will Smith will win.
Cool. All right.
All right.
And moving on to actor in a supporting role.
Who's gonna?
Am I just reading them all?
I don't know.
may
Up
as
to you.
The nominees are...
I just didn't want to pronounce that first name.
Ciarán
Hines? I don't know.
Hines,
I have no idea.
from Belfast. Well, not from Belfast, but in the movie Belfast.
movie.
Troy Kotsur from Coda. Jesse Plemons, Power of the Dog. J.K. Simmons being the Ricardos. And Cody Smith-McPhee, The Power of the Dog. Is that the kid?
Yeah.
That is the kid.
Out of this list, out of the ones I've seen, which is only Power of the Dog, I would vote for him.
Yeah.
But also, it would be really cool for J.K. Simmons to win an Oscar.
Hasn't he not?
Because I
Has
like
he
him.
not?
Did he win Best Supporting for Whiplash or no?
Oh,
might
he
have.
must have.
He did, yeah.
He must have. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
What do you reckon?
I don't know because I haven't seen Belfast, and I'm sure it's got a lot of hype. I'm sure it's a big film. You know, it's like one of the top ones in terms of like odds for a lot of stuff. So I'm tempted, but I'm gonna go with Cody as well. You went with Cody, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all in agreement. I'm
right.
tipping Cody as well.
All right, great.
What's Coda? You said you heard about that.
Yeah, something about like it's like something about deaf people. I don't know.
Deaf people.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm not interested in watching it. I probably never will.
Isn't Troy the first like deaf actor to get nominated or something?
Oh, okay. that could be a selling point.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
realistically. Fuck. Okay, we'll go. Nah, they're gonna fucking do it. I'm going Troy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll keep my pick in my seat just because I've seen the movie.
Cool.
Moving on to one where I've seen one of them. Actress in a leading role.
I've seen none of
I've
these.
seen none.
Jessica Chastain, Eyes of Tammy Faye. Olivia Colman, The Lost Daughter. Penelope Cruz, Parallel Mothers. Nicole Kidman, Being Ricardos. And Kristen Stewart and Spencer,
Kristen Stewart's
who
winning it.
I'm absolutely voting for. She was amazing. That was such a good movie, I thought. You haven't seen it?
I haven't seen any.
Have you seen Jackie?
No.
You should watch
But
Jackie.
I definitely want to.
Yeah, you should watch Jackie.
Yeah. But Spencer was just like pure, like, I don't know how to describe it. Like there's some like very like tense moments. Yeah. Where like you just feel like you were in her character and you're feeling everything that she's feeling and all the anxiety and just everything. It's great.
Like a claustrophobic deal?
I don't know about claustrophobic, just like real anxiety inducing,
Yeah,
I'd say. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's
so highly
exciting.
recommend. I'd definitely put her for the win.
Yeah, I'm going to go Kristen as well.
Really?
What are you doing?
Yeah, so the interesting thing with these nominees is the fact that Kristen Stewart is the only person who hasn't been nominated or won
Yeah.
before. I think first nominate, like for yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. Stewart's sort of the performance that I've like heard the most about.
Yeah.
Out of them. I don't know. I have a feeling though that they'll give it to Olivia Colman. I just have a
Didn't she win
feeling.
a couple of years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I still have a feeling that they'll give it to her again, just because the
I feel
Academy.
like I've seen like the poster for the film and it just looks I don't know. Doesn't look like it's a massive like Oscar puller.
Yeah.
I wonder if people have seen these movies enough compared to Spencer.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe Spencer's also not doing great or whatever, but I feel like Spencer's the one that seems to be in the conversation the most.
Yeah.
If Jessica Chastain wins, I'll punch myself in the face. I watched the trailer and I was like, oh my God, like the fucking facial prosthetics or whatever.
Yeah.
And, no.
Andrew Garfield
absolutely
looked
not.
quite fun though.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like it might even be a good movie, but like,
Yeah.
you know, like any of this whole like thing of like just be the person. Why you have to fucking make your cheeks look fucking weird? Sorry, Tammy Faye. If your
They're
cheeks
trying to
look
make
like
her
that.
look like the actual Tammy Faye.
I don't know. I just don't like it.
That's
It just
like-
screams very
It's
Oscar
like
bait to me.
saying that, like in Back to the Future, they shouldn't have put makeup on them when they played the aged versions of themselves. Like,
Well, no, it's just
what's wrong
like
with
it
putting
just
makeup on?
it just looks fucking weird in the trailer. It looks wrong. It looks like
maybe that's just what she looked like.
maybe.
It's quite offensive, Michael.
I don't. Again, sorry, Tammy Faye. But no, it's just, you know, the whole thing of like Jessica Chastain fucking doing this and like kind of making herself look funny and then, you know, going for an Oscar. It's just.
I will say it's weird. Like,
You know?
I wouldn't imagine. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't know it was her. Like it.
Yeah.
Like it's.
I've seen nothing from it, so I have no idea what you guys want about.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen the trailer a few times and some.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
Next up.
Did we-
Actress
yeah, we all
in
made
a
our
supporting
predictions.
role.
Wait, did you predict in the end?
Yeah, I
It's
said Coleman.
Olivia Colman.
Yeah.
Oh, Coleman.
He said
All right.
Coleman, yeah.
Yeah. I went against
Alright.
the grain.
Let's
Crazy.
see how that goes.
Yeah. We'll probably bite me
Supporting
in the arse,
actress,
but-
we have Jessie Buckley, Lost Daughter, Ariana, not Grande, Ariana DeBose from West Side Story, Judi Dench in Belfast, Kirsten Dunst, Power of the Dog, and
Good luck.
Wanjanu Ellis in King Richard. I hope I said that right.
So who does she play in King Richard?
Let me have a look. If it's the mother, then she was very good. Let me Google. Boop, boop,
Yeah,
boop,
I've
boop.
seen
But it might be one of the kids.
out of these, I've seen West Side Story and The Power of the Dog.
How was West Side Story?
Exactly what you'd expect it to be, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is the mother. She was very good, but I don't think she's better than Kirsten Dunst. Or presumably Judi Dench is good in Belfast as well.
I have no idea. So I'm gonna go with Judi Dench.
I'm going to go for Kirsten Dunst. I don't think she's won something before, has she?
Not that I'm aware of. I'm going Ariana DeBose.
Really?
Yeah, this is just the one that I've heard the
You
most.
didn't give a very
about.
glowing review of the movie.
Well, I think the movie's not necessarily that good, but I think her
Right.
performance is good.
Okay.
Yeah, like yeah. Well, again, it's not to say that I think that the movie's like bad. It was just like it was a musical.
Yeah.
It's exactly what you'd expect it to be. Yeah, but nah, she's definitely the best performance in that movie.
Right. Sure.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, moving on then.
Moving on.
Animated feature film nominees are Encanto from Disney Pictures and Luca from Disney Pixar Pictures and Raya and the Last Dragon from Disney Pictures. And those are the only ones that are going to be considered.
Yeah.
Even though The Mitchells and the Machines was quite good, and Flea I've heard great things about, but haven't seen yet. I will be going to see it in a couple weeks, I think.
Yeah, so I've seen Encanto, Luca, and The Mitchells versus the Machines are the three that I've seen.
Yeah, I've seen Mitchells and Raya, and I don't think either of them will win.
I've seen none of these.
I think it's either Flea or Luca.
You don't think Encanto? You don't think Encanto?
Nah.
And you think Flea has a chance?
I think Flea definitely has a chance because it's getting a lot of buzz, I find. But like Pixar wins over Disney every time. Like it's gonna be Luca.
Yeah, I think Luca's definitely winning.
But I think it's
What do you mean? Oh, you're being sarcastic.
Nah, I reckon Encanto.
Have you ever
you seen
correctly
it?
guessed animated feature?
Yeah.
have you watched it?
Yeah.
Right. And you've seen Luca.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm giving it to Encanto
Why?
because I like it. I reckon it's gonna win.
Okay, I don't.
I just have a feeling. I could be wrong.
What are you saying, Michael?
I'm saying Luca.
Yeah, I'm just going to jump on Flea. I'm just going to say, I reckon there's a good chance it can win.
Right.
I reckon
That's
the
fine.
Academy can finally change their ways.
I reckon it's between Encanto and
If
Luca.
the Academy doesn't just ask their kids what their favourite movie was, there's a good chance Flea will win. Like, the fact that it was nominated was pretty cool, I'd say. Now, into the big guns. Best cinematography.
Yes.
Dune. And that's going to win. Also, Nightmare Alley, Power of the Dog, Tragedy of Macbeth, and West Side Story.
Yeah. So, Power of the Dog is pretty nice. It's got some nice, like, sort of more understated cinematography. But I think Dune's winning. I don't like. I mean, it's obviously like a nice, you know. Like, I mean, it probably took a lot of work to get stuff to look the way it did in Dune.
Sure. Yeah.
I prefer the Power of the Dog cinematography, I think, but
Right.
yeah, I'd have to say Dune.
Yeah, I think Dune.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dune.
Dune. Yeah.
Best costume design. Cruella, did that come out last year? Holy crap.
Yeah. It does.
Cyrano, don't know what that is. Dune, Nightmare Alley, and West Side Story.
So Cyrano's, all I really know about it is it's a period piece and it's got Peter Dinklage in it.
Oh, that one.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like just not enough people are going to see that movie.
I think it's between Cruella and Dune. I don't think Nightmare Alley is in with a chance. I don't think West Side Story is in with a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll say Dune, just because it's got a Best Picture nomination.
I'm going to... Spoilers, Michael.
Sorry.
I'm going to say Cruella, just because it's a movie about a costume designer or a designer or something.
Yeah, that makes
Might
sense.
swing that way. Although it did come out so bloody long ago and on Disney Plus exclusively for 49 cents to rent for like one... No, you permanently have it as long as you don't cancel your Disney Plus subscription.
Okay, yes.
So dumb.
Yeah, I'm going Cruella.
All right, guys.
That was sort of the one I think that has like the most notable costumes.
Like there's more stuff going on.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Dune is just like sci-fi costumes.
You guys might be right, but I'm going to stick with Dune anyway.
Fair.
Right. Best directing. Kenneth
Three
Branagh.
movies I've seen.
Kenneth Branagh for Death on the Nile. No, I'm kidding. Belfast. Raisuke Hamaguchi for Drive My Car. Paul Thomas Anderson for Licorice Pizza. Jane Campion for Power of the Dog. And Steven Spielberg for West Side Story.
Damn. Pretty cool group of nominees. Seeing PTA and Raisuke Hamaguchi in there as well is pretty awesome, especially considering Drive My Car isn't like a... It's not like a, you know, like in your face
I'm really
directing.
Surprised Villeneuve is not there.
Yeah, that's the biggest snub. That's the biggest snub out of
crazy.
everything.
Or maybe if he made a movie with a bit more personality, then he'd be in there.
Yeah, well, any story at all.
Maybe if he made a movie
but like that's the thing is like
of course there is.
I found it quite dull because nothing happened in the end because it was all tension building leading up to something which isn't going to happen for another 3 years or something, you know. Like whereas I thought we were actually going to have some resolution in the movie. But the directing was great. Like that's one of the best parts of it.
Yeah.
Like I'm kind of shocked that that's got nothing. But then I guess I would feel like Dune would be more likely to be nominated than Drive My Car.
I just think it's awesome that Drive My Car's in there. I mean, like for a movie that's so understated a lot of the time in its directing. And it just has these very brief flourishes of interesting or like kind of like attention paid to the direction more so, like in a more like in your face way.
Do you know when Red Rocket came out in the US? Wasn't it?
I'm not sure.
Didn't it come out last year?
I'm not sure.
Because like I would nominate that for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
That was like a really fun, crazy. But then again, maybe it's not the kind of thing Academy would like.
Yeah, I think it's a bit too punky for the Academy. Maybe
it's just very like fun direction and like just everything. Yeah, it's just very fun. That's kind of how I describe it. I would love to have seen that nominated. But what I think's going to win is probably Jane Campion. I feel like that's probably the chicken dinner.
Surely.
Yeah, I think she's definitely winning.
I haven't seen Belfast, but
no.
If Death on the Nile is anything to go by, it's probably it's like I've heard good buzz. It's weird that I've heard good buzz about Belfast, but Death on the Nile was so bad.
We'll see. Belfast just looks like Roma.
Right, yeah.
It's the same idea, isn't it?
Oh, okay. I don't know anything about it. I've seen the trailer, I think. And
all I know is it's like coming of age sort of.
It looked kind of like 400
coming
blows.
of age story about growing up, huh?
It looked kind of like 400 blows.
Yeah, maybe. It's just easy to compare it to Roma because it's a black and white Oscar epic about somebody's personal experiences, or at least the place that they're from.
Are we all on Campion though?
I think we're all on Campion.
I think we're all on Campion.
Yeah.
Are we skipping documentary feature?
Well, Flea's probably going to win.
Why would we skip documentary feature?
I'm going to guess.
We'll skip the shorts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like documentary feature, we've got Ascension, Attica, Flea, Summer of Soul, or When the Revolution Cannot Be Televised, and Writing with Fire. I've just heard a lot about Flea and have not heard about any of these others. So.
I think Summer of Soul's in with a shot, but I think it'll be Flea.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the one that I have heard stuff of is Summer of Soul.
Yeah.
But I haven't heard of stuff of Flea though. But Flea is nominated in other categories.
Yeah.
So maybe that gives it an edge.
Like it's so like that's again just so awesome that a documentary was nominated for best animated feature.
Yeah,
like not all just kids movies. And that's why I'm hoping that it could easily win doco, and then because the people are voting for that, they're also going to vote for an animated.
Yeah,
it's my idea.
No, I get what you mean.
So that's my pick.
That's a good point.
Right,
well, I don't know. I'm torn between Flea and Summer of Soul.
I'm going to stick with Flea. I'm sticking with Flea.
Yeah, it's other nominations make me go with Flea.
Yeah,
so I'll go with Flea.
Mean
Flea.
I feel like we're agreeing.
We're agreeing a lot.
A fair amount.
Next, for film editing, Hank Corwin, Don't Look Up, Joe Walker, Dune, Peter Scaberis, The Power of the Dog, and Myron Kirstein and Andrew Weisblum for. This time it's all in caps. Tick, tick, boom.
And Pamela Martin for King Richard.
And Pamela, which I accidentally missed. I don't know how I missed that. Yeah. I was like scrolling up, like revealing them, and I must have just scrolled too far. I loved Don't Look Up. I've seen 4 of these. Like my favorite is Don't Look Up, but that's definitely not going to win. It's probably going to be Power of the Dog. I think.
So this is interesting because Carsten Rundquist said, I think in his review, that Don't Look Up had terrible editing, as far as I remember.
Disagree wholeheartedly.
So that makes me think that it might win.
A bit of Bohemian Rhapsody.
It's not a case of Bohemian Rhapsody where it's just like just over edited.
Right.
It's more like it's pretty similar to Vice, if you've seen that, which was also nominated in its year for editing. But it's just even more. It's like dial it up to 11. Like a lot is going on, I guess. And I thought it was just really fun, like the way they did it. But I think Americans in particular hate the movie enough that they're not going to vote for it for anything.
Don't Look Up's weird because it seems to have really split people.
Yeah. Like from what I've heard and gathered, like the distaste for this movie tends to be mostly an American opinion. It seems that way. And I think it's because the movie is basically America sucks. Like that's what the movie is, and people don't want to hear that. They don't want to laugh at themselves.
But don't you think it's also kind of like, at least in terms of like quote unquote liberal Hollywood, it's rather fashionable to hate America. It's rather fashionable to make fun of America.
Yeah, but
even if you are an American.
I think that's maybe why they don't like it, because they think, they're just taking an easy punch.
I guess what I'm saying is, do you think that that's actually going to translate to specifically Academy members and Hollywood? Because I feel like maybe it would make fun. Maybe that would work for, like, in terms of like rednecks might hate it. But do you think it's going to translate to? I
think the majority of 65-year-old white men are not, like in America, are not are not the audience for this movie, and are just going to be like, oh, it was too flashy and fast and too much was going on.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
Yeah. If the Academy was all 20-year-olds, it would have a chance, but I don't think so. I think, what did I say? Power of the Dog. I think that's going to win. Probably.
I think out of these ones, the one that I would like most want to win would probably be Tick Tick Boom.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to win.
Having said that about Power of the Dog, I felt like June must have had really good editing, because I was like very like engaged with it the whole way through, and when it ended, or before it ended, I thought there was like 40 minutes to go. I thought we were only like 2 hours in, like, so like it kept itself up very well. I just kind of award it for not having a conclusion or any resolution.
I don't know why, but I feel like I'm tossing up between Dune and The Power of the Dog, to be honest.
Well, I feel like the way the story is, even though maybe I missed a lot of it, I feel like what I did pick up on in Power of the Dog, I thought was definitely like a lot of it was told through editing. Like, there wasn't much dialogue or anything that really told you what was going on.
You have to watch that movie again, bro.
I'm gonna go Dune.
You don't have to pay me to watch it.
Okay.
I'm going Dune.
I'm gonna go Don't Look Up.
All right.
I'm picking Don't Look Up.
All right.
Part of me wanted to pick Tick Tick Boom, but I'm going to pick Don't Look Up.
You haven't seen it though, have you?
No.
Yeah.
But I'm picking it.
All right. We'll see how that turns out.
Yep.
International feature film from Japan. We have Drive My Car. From Denmark, we have Flee. Oh, I didn't know that was nominated. Italy, The Hand of God. And Bhutan, Luhana, A Yak in the Classroom. That sounds very interesting, and I want to watch that.
Yak in the Classroom.
And from Norway, The Worst Person in the World. Oh, I didn't know that was Norwegian. I'm probably going to go see that next week.
Nice.
I just need to add this Yak in the Classroom to my watch list because this sounds so interesting.
It's from Bhutan as well. Has Bhutan ever been nominated?
I don't know.
Surely that's got to be their first.
Don't know.
Sure.
I could be wrong, but that's dope.
Right.
Sounds great.
Cool.
When you think of movies, how far down the list is Bhutan?
In terms of like a...
When I think of countries, that's not even on the list because I wouldn't know that it's a country.
Yeah, so it's probably low for the list on film as well, considering.
Yeah. I wonder where it premiered or like how it got to that point of being nominated. I just wonder. Because like the rest of the films, like Drive My Car and Worst Person in the World were both from Cannes. Hand of Gods by Paolo Sorrentino, who's done like a bunch of work before that's like been recognized in America and stuff. So like... He did like the Young Pope series. He did the Great Beauty, other shit.
Well, I feel like it's unlikely that Drive My Car won't win.
Yeah,
surely.
Considering I know already that it's nominated for the BP.
Yeah.
I think we're all going with that, aren't we?
Yeah.
I think 100%. And
but really cool to put a spot on again, Flea and these other ones. Yeah. Makeup and hairstyling. Nominees are Coming to America, Cruella, Dune, Eyes of Tammy Faye, and House of Gucci. And you just know that Tammy Faye is probably going to win.
No. Fucking stupid Jessica Chastain cheeks. This is the dumbest shit in the entire world.
It's not just her. Andrew Garfield has a decent style as well.
Yes, but hers look ridiculous.
It's just... Maybe it's supposed to. I'm going
to Google real
I'm
Tammy
sure
Faye.
It's supposed to.
I'm going to Google Tammy Faye.
Yeah, right.
Because I reckon it's bullshit.
So are you giving it to Tammy Faye?
Yeah, I reckon.
Yeah. I'm going to give it to House of Gucci.
Yeah? Have you seen it?
No.
No?
I don't know.
Jared Leto's in like a fat suit, isn't he?
Wait, what? In what film?
In House of Gucci? He's definitely got a lot of prosthetics on.
Yeah. I don't know. Sort of the one that I've most...
But surely people just don't like the movie enough to care.
About House of Gucci?
Yeah. And like Eyes of Tammy Faye is
it?
like the most obvious hair and makeup.
Yeah.
So...
I know.
Come on, where's this photo, Michael?
I'm literally just stabbing in the dark with it, to be honest.
Oh, he's about to concede, isn't he?
No, but it doesn't, like... Okay, hold on.
So you think she looks horrible, is basically what you're saying.
No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm trying to find one of younger Tammy. I'm trying to find one of the Tammy that...
Oh, but when she's older is when she's got the most prosthetics on in the movie.
Oh, and it looks like fairly accurate, but like it's just like it's still bad compared to like what Tammy Faye actually looks like.
Honestly, here's my honest opinion.
Okay, so this is Tammy Faye's face, right? This is Tammy Faye.
Yeah.
This is Tammy Faye on the left.
On the left?
Yeah.
Okay. Then
for all you viewers at home.
Okay, this is me very obviously biasing by choosing the most egregious photo, but look at this. What is this? This is one of the worst things I've ever seen.
Are you serious?
This is terrible.
That looks kind of like her.
I honestly
looks
think
really bad.
Here's a comparison. I honestly think the movie version looks a lot better.
It's not about what looks better. It just looks
like it looks less fake is what I mean. Like
I just don't understand. Like you could easily play this character without the enormous cheeks, and they've decided to put these fucking random prosthetics on for some reason or another to get this effect.
I honestly don't even like comparing them. I don't think it looks bad at all. I think the real Tammy Faye looks like she's wearing prosthetics. And the movie version is a lot less prominent, I'd say.
Yeah, now that I've seen it,
that looks fine.
That looks so bad. This looks horrible.
She looks the same as the real one, so I don't know.
It's so bad. Nah, fuck.
I don't know, bro. I agree with you, but I'm gonna have to.
It's the most unnecessary.
Can you at least agree?
Bullshit.
Can you
it's
at
like
least agree?
Meme level bad.
Can you at least agree that it very closely resembles the real Tammy Faye? And therefore they've done a good job.
Sort of. But it doesn't mean they've done a good job. You don't have to do that.
And I want to look up what the husband looked like, because...
Whatever. It's probably winning.
Oh, and yeah. Yeah, I reckon.
I predict eyes of Tammy Faye.
They've got it in the bag.
Yes. Are we all guessing?
Wait, so are you picking it as well, even though you just said you hate it and you think it's terrible?
Yes.
So we got Eyes of Tammy Faye.
Yes.
What did you say?
I'm also Tammy Faye.
Oh, you're also Tammy Faye.
And you're Gucci.
I'm going Gucci because fuck it, I don't know.
All right, that's fine.
Moving on then to...
I don't think I ever get makeup and hairstyling right, ever. So
I think you guessed Little Woman, didn't you? Did that win? I don't know.
I think I got that for costume a couple years back.
Oh, we've already done... Yep, yeah. I see.
Okay.
Moving on then to original score. Don't Look Up. Nicolas Bertal, Dune, Hans Zimmer, and Encanto, Germaine Franco. Parallel Mothers, Alberto Iglesias, and The Power of the Dog, Johnny Greenwood. This is going to be Dune, I think.
Yeah, I'd like to see Johnny Greenwood take it. But I think Dune's getting it.
It's probably Dune. I could see Encanto getting it, because I feel like in terms of like music, that's sort of the most like obvious, if that makes sense.
But it's probably just going to win original song, right? For one of the songs.
I don't know.
Not really. I haven't looked at the noms yet, so we'll find out soon. Okay.
But no, I'll agree and say Dune.
I feel like the score in Dune is so prominent.
The vocals in there.
I'm offended that Spencer is not nominated, because the score of Spencer was like, oh my god, that's what like made most of the movie. It's like that's what like really like caused the like emotion and everything. Like it really swelled up in those tense moments, and like, but like it didn't feel like it was like, you know how sometimes like a film score is like, oh, they're just trying to get emotion out of you by playing these keyboard or whatever. It wasn't like that. It just like it really like.
You should really watch Jackie.
Help the movie. Yeah,
you should really watch Jackie.
You really should.
Yeah.
Well, that time that you watched it recently, you didn't ask me to watch it with you. So.
Yeah, I know. Well, sorry. Apologies, bro.
Yeah. Anyway.
Cool. I'm
voting for Spencer should have been nominated. It's going to be the surprise win. Oh, we forgot to nominate it, but it's definitely the best. Dune will win for sure.
All right, cool. So Dune.
Yeah, Dune.
Cool.
Best original song nominees: "Be Alive" from King Richard. I don't remember there being an original song. Dos Orgi. You can probably say this better than me. Dos Oguitas. Yeah, from Encanto.
Don't know why I'm putting an accent on it, but
Down to Joy from Belfast No Time to Die from No Time to Die, the song that came out 2 years before the movie. Somehow You Should from 4 Good Days.
Somehow You Do.
Somehow You Do.
Somehow You
How
Do.
did you just read that?
I don't know how I'm reading. I think my brain moved
Pretty
to
weird, bro.
the word from and then combined it with the S from somehow and the good, the D from good.
I know.
That's how it happened. No idea. It had better bloody not be No Time to Die because it's basically just a copy of like the last 2 Bond songs. I'm going to vote for the Encanto one because I don't know any of them and that's a musical. So like I feel like it's really dumb when movies that aren't musicals end up winning compared to movies which were actually like musicals or where the music was like a strong part of the movie,
right?
Like Sing Street. I don't think was even nominated.
Well, it was an indie film.
Yeah, but like
fair.
it had enough buzz I think leading up to Oscar season.
Yeah,
and freaking it lost to Justin Timberlake's Trolls song one day.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell?
Got sunshine in my pocket.
Like, sure, it's a good pop song, but does that have like? I guess it's like. If you're judging pop songs, it's a qualifiably good pop song. even though I strongly hate it just because I genuinely have a distaste for that type of music. But like, what does that song do for film and for the movie? Like, I feel like the way that the song is used in the movie should also be taken into account. And then when it's just like a dance number at the end of the movie or whatever.
Did you just say you have a distaste for pop music?
For
Carly Rae Jepsen, bro.
Yeah, hold on. See, that's not pop. Like, I do like pop as a genre, but like the specifically like really, really popular pop music.
Right, it's like soulless garbage pop.
Exactly. Like, you know what I mean? Like that Justin Timberlake song or like some of the probably older Carly Rae Jepsen songs.
Call Me Baby's mean.
Yeah, totally.
It is.
I mean, it's okay.
It's a banger.
It bangs in some ways. Yeah. But like that new album, it's a couple years old now. But that's a great album. I do enjoy that a lot.
No Time to Die could win. I'm gonna go with Encanto as well, though.
I think like I would be just like appalled if No Time to Die won. Like they gave it to Skyfall, right, when that was nominated, and like No Time to Die is like basically the same slow song. No time to die. Like, who cares? So dumb. And it's like, it feels really forced. Like, it doesn't feel like that lyric.
Right, okay.
It's not like that was a song that was written beforehand.
I don't think I've ever actually just sat there and listened to it. I just know the No Time to Die.
Neither have I. I've just seen the movie. And it's, in there.
Yeah, so the cool thing about the Encanto song that I'm not going to try and pronounce again because I probably butchered it.
Dos Sogüitas.
Is the fact that Lin-Manuel Miranda is only an Oscar away from winning an EGOT.
What's that?
Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony.
Oh, I see.
Which is like the grand slam of entertainment. And he missed out last time.
What was the Hamilton?
He was nominated for a song from Moana.
Oh, really? Didn't know he wrote on that.
Yeah, and he missed out on his EGOT.
I see.
Nice.
And I think he's going to miss out again.
Really?
Because bloody No Time to Die is probably going to win instead.
Well, you could be right.
I can see it happening.
I think you are right, actually.
I can see it in the start.
I think, now that I think about it, Oscar voters would probably love that Bond movie. Like that was made for them.
Also,
yeah. I don't know. I don't
think Billie Eilish has anything to do with it because I think like she's not a name that the Academy cares about.
No.
She's just a popular.
You're
name.
thinking of just the old people. The Academy is like.
Isn't the Academy mostly just old people?
Probably, but there's like.
I think it used to be.
Like Academy members are.
Like all the actors are probably the youngest people.
Yeah, there's other people in the Academy. I don't exactly know who votes for best song. It could be like best picture, where like everyone does, where everyone votes. But like I feel like you're maybe putting a bit too much stock in that,
right?
When it comes to like some of these categories.
Yeah, I mean,
I think
I
a
just
lot
feel
of them
like,
probably do know who Billie Eilish is.
Like, they know who she is, but like, doesn't mean they're gonna vote for her. Like, because like the majority of Academy voters probably just like aren't into that kind of music, so they don't care. But they probably do like it in the movie because it's a very Bond song, I guess.
Right.
But
also, Bond songs have won in the past, so there's a precedent there.
Right. Okay.
As well.
I don't know. I'm still not going to vote for it. I don't think.
All right.
I'll eat an entire leaf of lettuce.
I'm going to go to No Time to Die.
Get ready to eat some lettuce. It's gonna happen.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, but I do want Lin-Manuel Miranda to get his EGOT, so I would be very excited if it won. That's like the second most likely.
I'm gonna skip past Best Picture there. Best Production Design: Dune, Nightmare Alley, Power of the Dog, Tragedy of Macbeth, and West Side Story. This is something that I feel like Macbeth has a good chance of winning, even though I thought the production design was really boring. Like it was. I think it's unique, but not good for the film.
Do you think the cinematography was good? I've seen some shots from it and thought it looked
I think
good.
it's like in both cases, production design and cinematography, whatever, the one with the cameras. In both cases, they're actually really good. Like it's well designed sets and like good cinematography, but I don't think they serve the film very well at all. I think they're really bad for the film. Like the production design is so minimalist. It's like just these really clean walls and stairways and hallways and stuff, and it just all adds up to that thing where I just do not believe this is real. Like I can't buy into it, and so for that reason I think it's really bad production design, because it doesn't serve the movie at all. Like I think it makes the movie worse. However, like I guess it's probably something that a lot of people would like. I think the people that do like this movie really like the production design because it's just the uniqueness of it. It gives it that different character, I think. Yeah, but I don't know what to vote for, actually, to be honest. I'm probably going to vote for Dune just because I feel like the others are all pretty meh.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Power of the Dog has an outside chance.
Did they build that whole house?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
Because that would be cool.
I think they just have an outside chance just because it's, racked up a lot of nominations. It's just one of those things. Like maybe they just love the movie enough.
Yeah. Actually, you're right. I'm gonna vote for that as well.
No, I'm not going to vote for Power of the Dog.
Oh, well, I'm
going to vote for Dune.
Too bad. Because I think Power of the Dog has got it in the bag.
I'll stick with Dune. I think it's at least got somewhat of a unique design, even if I don't love it. I think it's unique. I guess I feel like a lot of people will just assume that most of the design in Dune is visual effects as opposed to physical production you could be right.
So
that's actually a good point.
Might ignore it for that reason.
No, I'm going to stick with Dune. Fuck it.
All right.
What about you, Matt?
Yeah, so Dune we've got like pretty what's the word? Minimalist, like you guys said. Power of the Dog, you got a Western there. Tragedy of Macbeth, you've sort of got like period, Shakespeare sort of style. For some reason, I don't think they'll give it to the Power of the Dog. So I'm torn between Nightmare Alley, Tragedy of Macbeth, and West Side Story, to be honest.
Nightmare Alley was definitely good, actually, now that I think about it. And it definitely felt like it replicated the period,
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe Nightmare Alley, just as more than,
I'm picking Dog just for that house.
Oh, yeah.
It was just a nice house.
Yeah, no, I'm going to go Nightmare Alley.
Whether or not that was designed or not, I don't know.
My secondary Oscars prediction is that Nightmare Alley will walk away with nothing.
Okay.
No Oscars.
All right.
Are we skipping short animated films?
Yes.
Yeah, we're skipping both shorts.
All the shorts.
Don't be silly.
We haven't seen them, obviously.
Shorts don't matter.
Yeah, I prefer jeans. Even though I'm wearing shorts right now.
I am wearing shorts.
Now, Is this the first time they've combined sound into one category, or did they did it last year? They did. So we don't have to have that whole spiel.
And you were very happy about it.
Yeah, I probably was.
It's okay. I understand that you didn't remember last year's Oscars.
Why is that?
Because they seemed like a really fucking forgettable Oscars.
I don't remember at all.
Who even won Best Picture last year?
Nomadland.
No,
really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And who was it that won Best Actor at the end? And everyone was like, lol.
Anthony Hopkins.
Right, Anthony Hopkins.
Anthony Hopkins.
Everyone thought Chadwick.
So they did it last because they thought that they were going to get Chadwick on there.
Yeah, that was so stupid.
I thought Chadwick was going to win.
Even if you know for certain that Chadwick's going to win, it's still stupid to put it last.
Yeah.
Like, put it second to last.
Yeah.
You know, like, you still have to end the Oscars on Best Picture.
Yeah.
Like, it can't, because if you end the Oscars on an RIP Chadwick Boseman, like, that's just a sad way to end a show.
And it's just like weird.
You
it's just like
you want to end with the celebration of the best cinema.
Because I was reading a thing and the producers of it were saying, I mean, put as much stock into what the producers of the Oscars say, but what they said was that they reckon that the speeches from like actors on that are better, but then Hopkins didn't even do a speech because
he was like in Ireland or
wherever. He asked to do a speech over Zoom, and then the producer said no.
And then I also read,
so I'm like,
I also read that Olivia Colman was told that she would go up if he won and give a speech on his behalf. Or accept it on his behalf.
Yeah.
But that because it was Anthony Hopkins who won, they just cut the show short. They're like, okay, goodbye everyone. Like, because they just weren't prepared for that to happen at all.
Yeah.
Which is just
basically
so
it was the second Oscars mess ever.
I mean, there's probably been more, but it was a big screw up.
Right, best sound.
Best sound, yeah. No, we got into that. Belfast, Dune, No Time to Die, The Power of the Dog, and West Side Story. And I don't think there's a doubt here for Dune.
I think it's Dune.
Yeah, like...
Yeah, I'll give it to Dune
Who's
as well.
not going to vote Dune in this category?
Yeah.
Yeah.
People who haven't seen Dune, maybe. Even people who haven't seen it are probably going to be like, yeah, I heard that had great sound. So, yeah. All on Dune?
Yeah.
All on Dune.
Same for the next category as well.
Oh, visual effects. Bloody Free Guy got nominated? Oh my God. They had the most like atrocious, like gimmicky crap visual effects I've seen. I haven't even seen the movie. I've just seen the trailer. Yeah. And one horrific scene, I think I showed you, Michael, where he generates Captain America's shield and then Hulk's fist and then he gets a lightsaber and it was just random bullshit from other Disney movies.
Oh no.
It was so cringe and
was Free Guy
so
Disney?
Stupid. It's Fox.
Oh yeah.
So yes.
Yeah.
Nah, you didn't show me, but I want to watch that.
I'm sure I've seen it.
I want to watch Free Guy because it's...
I've seen it.
Is it bad?
I enjoyed it.
Like,
Okay.
it just looks so stupid. Like, we talked about this when the news for it first came out. I was like, oh, this sounds really cool.
Yeah.
It's like the Truman Show, but in a video game. But that's not what the movie is at all, at least from the trailer, again, which is the only thing I've seen. It doesn't look like the Truman Show at all. It's like, it doesn't have that whole discovery of him figuring out that he's in this world. Some girl just comes up to him and it's just like, you're in a video game, put on these glasses and you'll see everything. He puts on the glasses, he just sees all the UI and all that kind of stuff. I'm just like, ugh.
Admittedly, when I do watch Free Guy, I'm going in with an extremely negative bias and I will not shake that. I'm going in to make fun of that movie. I have absolutely no interest in knowing if it's good or not. I just want to watch it.
Maybe we do that for the sake.
Yes, we can do that.
And from the trailer, Taika Waititi looks awful. Like, oh god, I feel like he's so overrated as an actor. I think he's actually not a good actor.
He can be funny, but like he's funny in these like little indie dramas. Like it's funny when he turns up in like Hunt for the Wilder People.
Yeah,
you know, like that's funny.
Or like he was good in Boy as well. I feel like it's because now he's famous for being funny. That's all he is, and he thinks that he's just a guaranteed laugh.
Right.
So he doesn't actually try. Like I thought Hitler was really bad as well. I didn't think he was good at it.
Yeah, I didn't like the Jojo.
I thought it was just so cringe. Like just like he's just basically expecting everyone to laugh, so he doesn't actually try to be funny.
Yeah.
That's what I felt. Yeah. Did you get that vibe from Free Guy?
Yeah, kinda.
It's yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while since
It bothers
I've seen
me
it,
because like
so-
all the Americans love him because he's got a funny accent. And it's like,
Yeah, it's pretty much, yeah.
like that's all it is.
Yeah.
Like even his voice work in Mandalorian and Rick and Morty was so bland. There's just nothing
Yeah,
to
I
it.
think
But
he's-
people love it
I
for some
think-
reason.
I think Taika, as much as I love him, I think he thinks he's funnier than he actually is.
Right.
Yeah. Like I think he is, like in his previous movies, he is really funny.
Yeah.
But it's like now that he just like has has that status.
Yeah.
He like
I'm talking mainly about Jojo.
right, like within the movie. He
Yeah,
thinks he's
in the
funny.
movie,
Yeah, for sure.
that's probably the best example of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
It's this whole like change in his personality in the last couple of years is making me really nervous about the new Thor movie. I feel like even in the last one, he kind of had too many lines.
Yeah.
Like he just like undercut a lot of some really great moments by just saying some dumb joke about the planets and rocks
Right.
and stuff. And
Yeah.
it's just like, ugh. So crossing my fingers, but yeah, we'll see. Anyway, what are we talking about? Visual effects. No Time to Die, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, and Spider-Man No Way Home. I reckon it's a pretty tough call between Spider-Man and Dune, to be
I
honest.
think Dune's picking up another Oscar. I think
like
Dune's
Spider-Man,
going to clean
that
up pretty
whole
well in terms of
that
like,
whole sequence with Doctor
technicals.
Strange and the like glass world and stuff. You've seen the movie, right?
No.
Oh, really? That's in the trailer.
I don't care about
There's
spoilers.
some
so.
like really interesting visual effects going
Yeah.
on in it. However, with Dune, it's like that looks real, whereas I guess Spider-Man doesn't. You know, it feels a bit more fake, I guess.
yeah.
So I'm torn, to be honest. I'm pretty torn.
I would say Dune. I think Dune's most notable
Yeah,
thing of Dune is probably its visual effects.
definitely should not be Shang-Chi because I thought it was pretty bad.
It won't be. Not with Spider-Man. in the
Like
same
yeah, of course.
category.
Like there's the entire like third act is just this giant CGI cloud
Right.
battle thing.
Yeah.
And it's like ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh. I thought Marvel had stopped doing that and they've done it again. Yeah. So no, don't think it'll be that. I don't know what was significant about No Time to Die, apart from some explosions. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Gunshots. Yeah. I don't know. I honestly don't. I guess yeah. I think I will vote Dune actually.
We're having another Dune.
Dune, Dune, Dune.
Oh, but just for the sake of being different, I feel like I should say Spider-Man.
You should be trying to win.
Yeah, I guess so. But it's like, would I rather lose or tie?
Right. Okay. Yeah. No, I see what you're saying. Okay. Go
I
Spider-Man
still
then.
don't know. I honestly don't know. Like the third act is pretty bland CGI wise. Actually, most of the CGI is pretty. It's only that Doctor Strange scene that I'm thinking of, to be
yeah.
honest. Okay, Dune. I'm going Dune.
Cool.
Locking in Dune. And
Right.
now, getting to the big
Dune,
boys, the bigger boys. Writing for adapted screenplay, Coda, written by Sian Hida. Drive My Car, by Raisuke Hamaguchi and Takamasa Ue. Dune, written by John Fates and Denis Villeneuve and Eric Roth. The Lost Daughter, from Maggie Gyllenhaal. Power of the Dog, Jane Campion.
Dune. I'm just kidding. Power of the Dog.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
definitely
Power of the Dog probably,
saying the
right?
same thing.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I'm going to say Drive My Car.
No.
Yeah.
As cool as that would be, I think Dog's getting it.
No, yeah,
think- yeah.
no, I'm giving it to the Power of the Dog.
I guess what I'm saying is like, I thought Drive My Car was a better screenplay, but
Right.
I obviously
Have not watched the movie. Yeah.
I've watched the movie.
I think if you didn't
It was so
realize
dumb.
that Benedict Cumberbatch was a closeted gay man, you have not watched the movie.
I think I got vibes, but like
Right, okay.
towards the end.
Right,
but
okay.
I feel like it wasn't like an obvious stated thing.
Yeah,
I must have missed
it
the
was
porn
it was
scene.
it was definitely at least not necessarily completely gay, but like enough in this he's had a gay experience.
I think it was pretty.
Right.
Yeah, it was maybe not literally said in words,
It wasn't.
but it was.
I don't think. It wasn't explicitly done, but it was like.
Which is
it
a
was
good
quite
thing.
apparent.
Like,
There were
that's-
two scenes
and
that
is good
explicitly
writing.
addressed it.
If you guys picked up on that, I recognize
yeah.
it
Yeah.
probably is really well written.
It's not even picking up on it. There were two scenes that very obviously addressed
whatever.
to this.
I'll watch it. Bloody hell, I'll watch it again. Not very soon though. Probably like 10 years from now.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll vote for dog. Just because you're right, it probably is more likely to win.
Yeah, I would absolutely love it if Drive My Car won.
I'm just thinking about that scene in the snow, and just like how
where they're talking.
Yeah, that's such a great scene.
For me, it's like a lot of the like stuff where they're just like going over lines and practicing, and
I guess so. I feel like in terms of like the overall narrative of Drive My Car, I feel like that's like top tier for me. Like that's top tier writing.
Oh, just the
overall story.
Yeah.
Like and then it all kind of comes together in that final, well not final, but that
where they're standing there, right? Okay.
Where they're talking about everything. I'm just like, oh wow, like this makes the whole movie work, you know?
Right. Okay.
So that's why I like it a lot. But yeah, okay, more votes are probably going to go to dog. So vote for dog.
Yeah, I'm saying the power of the dog.
All right, we're all in agreement.
Alrighty. And now for original screenplay, Belfast, written by Kenneth Branagh. Don't Look Up, great, written by Anna McKay and David Sirota. King Richard, Zach Balin. Licorice Pizza, written by Paul Thomas Anderson. And The Worst Person in the World by Eskil Vogt and Joachim Trier.
Nice.
What do we think?
I would love it if Don't Look Up won, because I think it's like a very, like people, like a lot of people say like it's an easy joke or it's a bit generic and cliche or whatever, but like I feel like it was done in a very interesting way, and I wasn't expecting any of what was coming to happen in the way that did. But having said that, I didn't know anything about the movie other than it was vaguely political related.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was even about a comet. Like I didn't know it was remotely science related.
Right. Okay.
And I really enjoyed that moment of discovery in the beginning and that whole way it played out. I thought it was really funny.
Nice.
So I think it's really smart and well done, but it probably won't win. But then again, I don't know which of these will win. Maybe I should just vote for it because it's the only one. King Richard's pretty good, I guess. I don't know. Any thoughts?
Yeah. So my thing with Don't Look Up is like, I feel like Don't Look Up's one of those films that people either love it or hate it.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm in neither category. I still don't know what I think about it, how I feel about it.
Right.
So I'm like...
But it's like there are enough people who would rank it last that it won't win.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
I don't know. I feel like it's popping up in different categories. Like I feel like you're maybe overestimating the amount of hate within at least the Academy. Right. I mean, you're also talking about a movie that's got Leonardo DiCaprio in it.
Yeah.
And is also done by Adam McKay, who's previously done The Big Short, which was a massive fuck you to America, and Vice.
Yeah. But like they didn't win anything, did they?
Well, no, but they were both,
The Big Short, I think,
nominated.
won for screenplay.
Did it?
I'm pretty sure.
I'll fact check that. But I mean, I feel like Big Short is a lot.
Well, it was at least nominated.
Big Short makes sense though, because Big Short is like, it's a lot less like it's a lot more subtle. I feel. It's definitely a lot more subtle than Vice.
Oh, it's a hell of a lot more subtle than Don't Look Up for sure.
Yeah, and I feel like you can respect the writing of Big Short even if you are like politically not aligned with it. You know, like. It's still great writing.
I think it's less politically charged though, because it's more focused on.
It's about the economy, I guess.
It's focused on Wall Street.
Yeah,
which I guess more people are against Wall Street than are against like 50% basically of the country. Is divided politically. Yeah, whereas I think probably closer to 80-90% of people like to stick it to Wall Street.
I mean, we all saw the recession happen.
You mean recently?
The 2008
recession. Like everyone saw that happen.
I mean,
everyone knew the result. You can't argue that the banks did a good thing.
Sure.
You know, like So I guess you might be right in that sense. It's maybe less like contested than something like Don't Look Up might be, where it's like a hypothetical.
Right.
The script that I've heard the most about.
Oh, it did win. Big Short did win.
It's probably Belfast. So I would tip.
I'm 100% tipping Belfast for this.
That's where I'm kind of floating in my head, but just because you guys are going it, I'm going to go for King Richard.
For screenplay.
Yeah.
Interesting. I would love it if Licorice Pizza won this. I think like it's really nice. Like it would just be good to see PTA get something from this year's Oscars.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because I think he's. Well, this film is kind of like a character-focused movie. It's very much about the writing.
Yeah.
It's less so about that kind of like visual or audiovisual kind of like environment that he sometimes makes with his movies. It's very much about the relationship in Licorice Pizza. Have you seen Licorice Pizza?
Yes.
Yeah. Did you enjoy it? Oh, we can talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I was a bit iffy on the central relationship.
Is that just the age gap? Or,
yeah, pretty much.
It's a tough one, and I think it's an obstacle to overcome in the movie, but it almost makes you.
But that's a huge story point of the movie,
Yeah, it is,
and that's
it
why
is.
it takes so long for them to actually get together.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just I was a bit like, this is a bit icky.
Yeah.
It is a bit icky.
I feel like as the movie goes on, like it just becomes more and more absurd, and you kind of are taken out of the idea of being like, this is a real world where this kind of stuff actually happened.
Oh yeah,
Like-
I don't know. I
Like
just
the main
couldn't.
character is like so, like, I guess like how did you describe him the other day?
He's an adult.
Yeah, basically.
He's an adult in a child's body. And I'm not saying that makes it okay, but what I am saying is there was obviously some kind of connection there. And I do think it is hard to reconcile why she decides to meet up with him for a date.
Yeah.
That's the hardest thing to reconcile, because it's like she actually decided, I'm going to go out and meet this 15-year-old guy.
Yeah.
But outside of that one choice, I think their relationship as like this extremely close friendship, dependability, all of that
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel
is
like
maybe a bit more like
It-
nice and heartwarming.
it would probably be
You know,
better like
in
if
that
they'd
way.
gone more into her character and like
Yeah.
maybe kind of explored and could discover a bit more about her, why she
Yeah.
might be inclined that way, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like I will say though, like in terms of like the actual like craft of it as a film, I did like it.
All that running.
Yeah.
So much running in that movie.
Yeah, even had the montage at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, but nah, like, I don't know. I couldn't get away from the like age gap situation. Mainly, and that's sort of what I was thinking about while I was watching the movie. Was like,
no, me too.
if this was around the other way,
Yeah.
25-year-old male with a 15-year-old
Yeah.
female.
Yeah, it would feel very predatory.
Yeah.
Yeah. But at the same time, it's a tough one, just like simply because of the people that they are and the characters that they are. There isn't that element of predatoriness. There isn't, you know, like it's still a weird relationship, and it's something that you think about while you're watching it. But I think,
I mean, granted, you could make a very similar argument in terms of with Call Me by Your Name.
yeah, you could because he's 17.
Yeah.
But like, you know, these people, like the thing is especially with Licorice Pizza, like, yeah, it's weird. Yeah, it's not good. But at least he's not like actually just like an innocent 15-year-old. Like he's like this like kind of like, I'm going to start my own business. Like there's something in there that's doesn't make it okay, but just
And it's like
it
also
lets
the
you
kid
emotionally
making the
invest in the
move.
relationship.
The kid making the first move, makes it a bit different of a relationship.
Yeah, so it's never a good thing, but I think it manages, I think, to work within that to work within that weird kind of constraint that it puts on itself as a story. I think though Belfast is winning.
I already said Belfast.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to be different. I'm probably not going to win anyway. So
What'd you say yours?
King Richard.
Oh, King Richard, right.
Yeah.
And so now
We go to
going
the big,
for the
big
top
kahuna.
dog,
Yeah.
best actor.
Supporting. No.
Best picture nominees are,
Yeah,
I'm reading this for the first time.
Good.
I know some of them, but Belfast, Coda, Don't Look Up, Drive My Car, Dune, King Richard, Licorice Pizza, amazing, Nightmare Alley, The Power of the Dog, West Side Story. Oh, and that's it. Okay, actually, none of those surprised me, to be honest. I think Don't Look Up surprised me, but I already knew that one.
And I think Licorice Pizza is a nice
actually,
touch.
Licorice Pizza, I'm glad is nominated.
I've seen 5 out of the 10.
I have seen 1, 2, 3, 4.
7. I've seen 7.
Nice.
Damn.
That's pretty good.
Nice stuff.
Yeah.
So what ones haven't you seen? You haven't seen...
I haven't seen West Side, Coda, and Belfast.
Yep.
I'm most inclined to vote for Power of the Dog.
Yeah.
It just feels like a Best Picture type of movie, even though I thought it was really boring. Yeah, it definitely feels that way to me. Yeah, I would personally give it to Drive My Car.
Yeah,
but I don't think it's going to win.
Yeah,
it's not like quite as striking as Parasite, you know.
No, it's a very quiet movie. In fact, it's just great that it got this far.
Yeah,
like a 3-hour fucking drama about like theater
3
people,
hours?
like
Damn.
like about the creation of a play, like and it's such a like it's not a Hollywood movie in the same sense. Like there is that kind of, there are, you know, like big emotions at times, but it's amazing that it got to this level, and I'm really happy that it did.
Yeah, sure. Hopefully a lot of people see it. Hopefully it gets a wider theatrical release, because I went to the festival where it was screening.
Oh, right. Gotcha.
Yeah.
And yeah, they only had like 5 screenings or something. Yeah. You know.
Yeah.
So like hopefully it gets a bigger release.
Yeah.
Yeah. I reckon the Power of the Dog for sure.
Yeah, I think the Power of the Dog's definitely winning. I think if there was a
second place,
it would be Belfast. And I think after that, it kind of just becomes no to all of them. Maybe King Richard in a really weird way, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah,
I think Power of the Dog's got it. And I actually disagree. I don't feel like Power of the Dog is at all a typical Best Picture winner. I don't see it that way at all. It's such a dark, depressing movie.
From the last few years, like the last couple of years since like Parasite, Nomadland, and what else was in? Oh, that's the only 2, isn't it? I like at least in the way that it looks like the Academy kind of is heading. Power of the Dog feels most Best Picture-y to me.
Right. Okay.
Like it's a strong visuals.
Yeah.
And like strong performances.
Yeah.
Like and very character focused, and like a lot of emotion in it. I feel like it just kind of lends itself towards it.
I think I'm amazed. Like, I don't know if I'm amazed, but it's cool to me that something like The Power of the Dog gets to this point, because it's not only a New Zealand director, but it's also like it's a movie that is psychologically interesting in the way that it like bubbles under the surface with stuff. Yeah. Like it's kind of like there's a lot of not hidden, Ben, but a kind of you could say like a secondary emotion running under it, and I think and to me that's like the key to the movie is that secondary emotion. And I think it's amazing that a movie the same thing with Drive My Car, like these movies that kind of incorporate more subtle or complicated emotions are like being put forth in the conversation. Because when you look at something like Belfast, and I haven't seen Belfast, right? But like you look at it and you kind of go, it's going to be some big fucking super like emotional Hollywood style coming of age flick, you know? And then you've got stuff like Power of the Dog and Drive My Car in there. And I think that's really awesome.
Yeah. I think considering like the types of movies that were nominated, like that's why I feel like Belfast isn't as likely to win, because that's what used to be a really typical Oscar winner,
right? And
now I feel like the mood is shifting a little bit. They could prove me wrong. Yeah, they could change their ways and go back to their old stuffy ways.
Yeah, they could.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say before with Power of the Dog, like just like it's a Netflix movie. Like, well,
okay, so that's probably the big thing is like,
deal.
Yeah, well, no, I mean actually when I think about it, that is a huge deal.
But like,
because Netflix, as far as I'm aware, hasn't won Best Picture yet, have they?
No.
Has a streaming service even won Best Picture?
No.
Don't think so.
Now I'm wondering.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if Belfast is going to do it.
I think enough people liked Power of the Dog and saw it in cinemas that it would still take it, I think, for me. Yeah, like it's a big enough movie that it transcends being a Netflix movie.
Yeah,
right, okay.
I think I would agree with you with that. especially, I don't know, The Power of the Dog for me just seems like the front runner.
Yeah, and especially like in COVID times, these days I feel like this is the new normal. People care a lot less.
The new normal
in general, you know.
Yeah.
So like that was just how people have been watching movies for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make a difference to them whether it was Netflix or not.
Just for the sake of difference, I'm going to predict Belfast.
Fair enough.
Trying to lose then, are you?
I will say it's very
Yeah,
interesting with the 3 years that we've done this.
Yeah.
First year was just us two, and I won.
Right.
Second year, Michael comes on board.
Yeah. And did
Was
he win?
first, second, third.
Right.
Last year, I came third. So every year I've done progressively worse.
I see.
Don't know who won last year between you two.
I don't know.
Can't remember.
Might have been you.
Yeah, I think it might have been because I'd seen like almost all the movies last year.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I'll go Belfast. Why not?
And you are
Power of the Dog.
Power of the Dog.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that concludes our
Oscars
predictions.
Thing.
Yeah. So we'll then work out who won for this year once
Once it actually comes out.
once
Yeah.
it actually comes out.
Do you guys watch them at all? Or you just look it
I
up
used
online?
to.
I haven't watched them last year, and I think with Parasite I only tuned in for maybe
I literally tuned in for the best picture.
For the best picture, yeah. And I was at work,
Same.
and I did a little dance like when it happened. I was just like
Yeah.
pushed back a bit in my chair, and I was like, yeah.
I was like so excited. I like went into the other offices. I'm like, Parasite won best picture. And they're like, what?
Yeah.
Parasite? Have you not heard of Parasite? Like, like go watch Parasite.
Yeah,
Buffoons.
idiots.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like sad if you work in film and television and people haven't seen them. I'm like, what are you guys doing with your lives? Anyway, it's just for a lot of people it's just a job, I guess. So I don't know. Yeah.
All right. So now our final segment is
What you doing?
This is a segment where we talk about what we've been doing, reading, watching, listening to, and all that jazz.
Yeah.
And we've spoken a little bit about some of the movies we've seen, and I want to just talk about two films I watched last night. One of them I loved, one of them I dearly hated, and that's Red Rocket and The Death on the Nile. Well, not The Death on it, just Death, because spoilers, there's multiple deaths on the Nile.
Crazy.
And yeah, Red Rocket I thought was so fun. It's basically, this one is, as Carsten Rundquist describes it, just like really like fun and character driven, and I don't know what the words are to describe this movie. It's just like basically like an experience that just as it goes through, even if you don't care for the story that much, is just really entertaining.
right.
And I thought it was just really well done. I was just giggling to myself the whole time, just like being like, this is great. Like just from the opening credit sequence, it sets the tone so well. It's just so good. Yeah, it's great. And then I don't even want to say what else they do. But it's so fun. It's really fun. So I loved that a lot. Highly recommend go check it out. And then Death on the Nile can be thrown in the garbage. It was just like Murder on the Orient Express was just kind of average. Like it was okay, and I just thought the story was dumb because it's like, have you seen it?
No.
All of them in the end of the killer. And I'm like, what? That was just lame. I just thought it was lame.
Yeah.
Like, and it wasn't intriguing enough. And then Death on the Nile is just, the plot is just a bit more even stupid. Like, just the things the links that they go to try and explain how certain things happen. And one example is the very first opening scene. It starts off kind of interesting. It starts off on the field in World War One, 1913, I think, or 14, around there.
It would have been 14.
14. And they're in the trenches, and there's this one shot. It basically starts off with a big one shot.
Of course it does.
It's like, so they're basically just doing 1917. Except it's quite a bad one shot.
Yeah.
It's like the camera kind of moves really awkwardly in a lot of places.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't feel natural, the movement.
Yeah.
And then it ends up on this big reveal shot of this tall guy with a mustache, like a very distinct mustache. And you're like, is that supposed to be Kenneth Branagh's character, because he's got a distinct mustache, but like it doesn't really look like him? And then cut to another character that is Kenneth Branagh, and like, oh, so that must be him. But he doesn't have a mustache. And it's like, it's kind of an interesting scene on its own, apart from the weird camera work at the start, where they're like, sneaking up on the Germans by like putting this gas in the air, and it was Kenneth Branagh's idea. It's like, we should do it now because the wind is blowing, because it's basically explaining that he's it's kind of that before he becomes a detective, I guess, explaining that he's got intuition because he saw the birds doing some movement and he knew that means the wind's going to blow that way and then we can get an advantage on the Germans. That's not the stupid part. The stupid part is at the end, unshockingly, the main commander, the guy with the mustache, again, very distinct mustache, trips on a wire and blows himself up. And then Kenneth Branagh was quite close, so he's wounded, and you cut to him in the hospital, lying on his side, and you don't really see anything. And then they basically do a two-face reveal where he turns his head to his wife, I think, and he's like, "Do you still love me now?" And he's got this deformed, like just a bad burn mark that basically looks almost like a mustache across his face.
Oh, that's kind of funny.
And wait for it.
Grew a mustache.
Wait for it, because this whole time she was like, I still love you, blah, blah, blah. And then he's like, turns, and it's like, do you still love me now? And she's just like,
nope.
No, she's just like, simple, just grow a mustache. And it's like, oh my, this is literally them trying to just explaining the origin of his mustache. And it doesn't make any sense, because I'm pretty sure if you had a severe burn like he did,
you wouldn't
be able to grow a mustache in that area of your face. It would have to be a physically attached fake mustache. And in film, when you see close-ups of his face, I looked for it and I didn't see any burn marks behind where the mustache was. So it just seemed really lazy to me. And at the very end of the film, which I predicted would happen when he finally, you see him without the mustache again and he's got the scar. And it was like, that scar's quite big. That should have been obviously behind a mustache before. But I don't think it was. It's just like, it's so stupid that they created this giant like war scene to explain why he has a mustache.
Why do they need to explain why he has a mustache? Can't he just have a mustache?
Exactly. It's so dumb. It's like that scene in Pirates of the Caribbean 5 where, I guess you haven't seen it, but like they explain how Johnny Depp got his hat and his earring and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, you don't need to explain this shit.
That's really bizarre. It would be like if someone walked out with brown hair, just like a person with brown hair, and then all of a sudden you went into a big backstory where they're blonde, and then it ends with their hair being permanently dyed. Like, that's how that feels. It just makes no sense. Like, you don't need to.
It's just not needed.
Like, if it was a bit more of an explanation for why he is his character and the way he is, it would make sense. But his character later on in the movie is sad that his wife died, but they never explained how the wife died. And like at the end of that mustache scene, she was in love with him. Like things were good between them, more or less. Like, so that didn't add anything to his character at all. It was so stupid. Like, she should have died tragically or something. That would have been made a bit more sense. They gave some character.
If you want to know how to set up a good backstory for a character, just watch Drive My Car. That sets up a great backstory.
Oh, yes. I was confused for a second. Oh, yeah. No, yeah.
You know, the whole, 40 minutes
the first
before the
40 minutes
credits.
Yeah. So great. What was I saying? Yeah, anyway. And then the rest of Death on the Nile is just pretty drab. Has some of the worst visual effects I've seen recently. Like, really bad green screen compositing work. Like, it's just so plainly obvious how bad it is. It looks like very few locations, if any, were used for the film, and even most of the shots of the river and the pyramids all look like really fake. Like, most of them look pretty bad. And it was shot on film. And I'm like, why? It was like most of the big grand shots were digital, or at least massively enhanced digitally. Yeah, it just looks so stupid. And then the plot's really pretty dumb. The big twist reveal at the end is just really ham-fisted, and it's a situation where the way that the murderer committed the murder was so specific. It's like freaking like, you know, Bane and Dark Knight Rises, where like this certain events had to have happened in a way for this plan to have worked, which is like so unlikely that could happen. Like, what are the odds that was going to happen?
Did they do a whole scene where they go back and they show you everything? Yeah. Fucking of course.
It's always in black and white. Like, and as soon as it's so dumb because like the way they interrogate all these people, you know, and like it could be you and it could be you, but they basically with every interrogation ends with, oh, but it can't be you because of this. And then once it gets to the person that it is, there's a black and white shot of them doing the thing. It's like, oh, now we know. And it's not even the end of the movie yet. You could have left a little bit more room for us to keep guessing, right? You know, rather than just tell us immediately that that's definitely what happened. Because there's like a few cases of stuff being revealed before the final reveal, you know?
Do you think that after Knives Out, people should just stop making old school mystery movies?
Well, like, I think no, I don't think so, because I think what Knives Out has done is reintroduce the genre as doable, and you know, I think that's why it kind of sucks. So this movie's come out and put a big pile of crap on top of the genre.
Yeah, you know? Well, at least it's the beginning of the year and no one will remember it.
Yeah,
this is like just it's probably like literally a dumping ground situation.
Yeah, pretty much, because it was meant to come out like a year or two ago.
Hopefully it'll make a bit of money, whatever, you know.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to probably make money. It's like Gal Gadot and everything. Like, it's a huge cast, and they're all actually quite bad. Yeah. It's surprising how bad most of them are, especially Armie Hammer. I thought he was
Is he still doing movies?
No, because this was shot like 3 years ago before the whole cannibal thing. So him and Letitia Wright are both in it, and they're both like basically cancelled at this point.
Who's Letitia Wright?
She's the girl from Black Panther that is like anti-vax. Which, to be honest, I don't think that's something that you should be cancelled for.
No, definitely
you literally
not.
just can't do the work because you need to be vaxxed to work.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's worth like branding her as a horrible person the way that you would with Armie Hammer.
Look, as long as Armie Hammer hasn't actually eaten anybody,
I wouldn't put a bet on
anybody.
That.
I'm okay with it. If he's got some weird fucking thing in his own personal life where he wants to be a cannibal, but he was
still like pretty abusive to some people.
So that's no good.
Yeah. But there's this one scene where he's like being really emotional, and he's terrible. He's so unbelievably bad. Like Right. But I heard people online saying like, yeah, Gal Gadot was really good and Armie Hammer was really good. I'm like, what are you watching? Like, so many people, even Dan Murrell, who I usually like quite strongly align with, quite enjoyed this movie. I'm like, wow. Like, I don't understand how anyone who respects film can enjoy this movie. Because it was just, ugh. Anyway, other things I've watched. Memoria is I'm quite disappointed Memoria didn't show up in Oscars at all.
No way.
I thought it could have got a grab.
Artsy.
Yeah, but it could have got a grab for sound, because like sound's quite a big part of it. Maybe.
Who would watch it?
I don't know. You know, you're right.
Yeah.
Licorice Pizza as well. Belle, a new anime from the director of Wolf Children, which I really loved, but Belle was a bit average. It was okay. And the last one I'll talk about, I finally watched Zack Snyder's Justice League. Have you watched it, Matt?
No.
Man, what a ridiculous
surprise! It's bad.
No, it's not actually that bad.
Surely it is.
It's actually not actually that bad. It's a competent movie. The problem is it doesn't need to be 4 hours long.
Wow.
It's like there's so much like slow motion all the time for no reason. Like another big problem with Wonder Woman, the Wonder Woman movies had that.
Yeah.
And just so many unnecessary, just boring nonsense. Like the 2 hour cut is probably a lot worse, but like around 3 hours probably would have been pretty good, I'd say, or pretty decent. The other thing I hate, well, Gal Gadot is just not good in general, but her and a lot of other people's lines that are very like jargon heavy, like the mother box, blah, 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 and fifth dimension, all that kind of shit. It just doesn't sound believable at all. It doesn't feel like the characters believe that this stuff exists in their universe, you know, as opposed to something like Marvel where everything feels like very believable and like the characters definitely believe all this stuff is happening, you know. And all that, like the dialogue in Justice League was just like very like feeling to it. Willem Dafoe was in it. Did you know that?
No.
That was quite funny.
I was not aware.
He was like like definitely a kind of just showed up for a paycheck type role.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was fun anyway, I guess.
Cool.
A highlight amongst not much of a movie. Also, being 4:3 was so stupid because it wasn't shot for 4:3.
Yeah.
It was shot for a 185 regular, widescreen projection.
Yeah.
And it could have just been released that way, and it would have looked a lot better. I zoomed it on in my TV because, like, in the first 10 minutes, I could see the top and bottom of the frame were just not being used at all. So I zoomed it in, and it looked. I actually really appreciated a lot of the compositions.
Yeah.
Like, it actually looked quite good. I was like, oh, Zack Snyder actually does have an eye for it. If he doesn't just leave the open mat for no reason. If you're seeing it in IMAX, it would have been good to have the full height of it. And that's the reason he released it that way, but it never got an IMAX release because of the pandemic. So it just is stupid. Like, you shouldn't release something on home media in that way. It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So that's what I've been doing. And again, I kind of mentioned I was going to see Worst Person in the World and something else in a few weeks' time, a couple of weeks. Come On's also coming out next week.
You should watch that. You'll love it.
I'm definitely going to watch that. Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, also, sorry, I just going to mention, just because I have to, and I can't remember if we talked about it before, but I've been looping Sob Rock by John Mayer a lot.
Yeah.
I think we talked about it before it was coming out, that it was coming up soon on one of the previous podcasts. But yeah, that's just a solid jam.
Sweet.
Can't stop. Can't get it out of my head. It's great. Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
So other than the catching up on Oscar nominated films, because we've sort of already covered that.
Yeah.
Shows that I've been watching lately was, for a while I was watching Survivor. Went back to season 1.
Yep.
And got up to stopped watching at 27 or something.
Yeah.
Good show. It's really interesting because it's progressed so, the show's been on for 20 fucking years now, which is insane. But it's interesting, especially the first season, watching that first season was really interesting because at that time it didn't know what it was going to be, so it was such a huge experiment. And the dude who won invented the whole idea of alliances, which is super interesting and super cool. Because and just seeing the gameplay change, see them introduce hidden immunity idols. What's interesting as well is the fact that, there's, in the earlier seasons especially, seeing problematic stuff happen. Yeah. Which was cringy because problematic shit is cringy, right?
Right, yeah.
But seeing that happen and seeing how much we've progressed as a society was pretty cool. And then there's seasons in there which are just really, really well done in terms of just interesting reality TV.
Yeah.
So you've got that. What I've started watching, again, went back right to the start of it and watched it. Long ass running show, Criminal Minds. Which is one of those shows that I'd seen odd episodes here and there.
Right.
Good show as well. Good show. I know. And sort of started the whole thing in terms of looking at criminal profiling, which is just a super interesting topic in general. I think Mindhunter does it way fucking more better. It's just a better show overall. But yeah, interesting to watch.
Cool. I also started watching The Wire.
That's supposed to be really fucking good,
which
but I've never seen
great things about it, and started it, and I'm really enjoying it for what it is. It's good because it's I can feel I can approach it a bit more casually than other TV shows. I feel like the more modern ones, especially Netflix and streaming stuff, is a lot more serious and a lot more keep on constantly hooking you for the next episode type thing. Yeah. Whereas The Wire is every episode's pretty self-contained. You don't. There's no big hook at the end, or not at the end of all of them, and I'm only 7 episodes in or something.
Yeah.
But enjoying it a lot and kind of being able to approach it kind of casually and not too invested, but still enjoying it. It's quite good.
Yeah.
So enjoying that.
Nice. Let's see, what have I been doing? I've been listening to a band for a long time now, Black Country New Road. They're really cool British band, which sort of started out with this kind of really insane, dissonant, over-the-top, quite heavy rock music over spoken word.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, or underspoken word, or mostly spoken word.
Yeah.
Very interesting lyricism, touching on a lot of like, I guess you could say modern troubles,
Right.
References to things like Kanye West, NutriBullets, random things, stuff like that. But they've released a new album called Ants From Up There, which is actually quite beautiful. A lot more singing, a lot more pleasant instrumentation, and it's to me, I just want to like put it out there and just say that it's a great album. Really, I think it's really special. I think it's got a lot of great emotional highs, amazing use of like various instruments outside the normal rock palette, like saxophone and violin, as well, and just generally like a really interesting, cohesive body of work that's made by a bunch of people that are in their early 20s. And I think that's always something that I'd want to push and put out there. The lead singer's just left the band, but oh well.
That sucks.
But they're going to continue and keep trying to make stuff, and I think that it'll be nice to see them do well. The other thing I just started watching was David Attenborough's Our Planet.
But is the first episode about like Antarctica and stuff?
The first episode is simply like an overview, and and then the second episode, so the first like full dedicated to one area episode, is about the poles, so Antarctica and the Arctic.
Really?
Yeah.
I swear, because I also just started watching it recently, and I swear the first episode was the poles one.
The first full episode is the poles one, but there's an episode before that which is more just like an overview, and it goes over like all sorts of areas. So it does have stuff about the poles in it, but it also has stuff about like the forests and jungle and birds. And
admittedly, I actually stopped the episode halfway through, not because I was bored, but I was just like, I'd seen a lot in that first episode. Like the one where you see the orcas hunting the penguins.
Yeah, throwing it around.
Yeah, is that in Ep 1 or 2?
I think it's in Ep 2. I think it's in Ep 2.
Weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think it's incredible. Like I think when I first started watching it, and it might have just been because it was the first episode, I was kind of like, this feels a bit like too montagey, and I felt like I just kind of wanted it to be like you're watching something happen with the animals and they're telling a story. But then that did start happening. Yeah. And then you just start thinking about the fucking logistics. Like I know they use a lot of drones and stuff, but oh my God, like the amount of stuff that they've got, the amount of like incredible kind of like stories that they're able to tell, composition, where it's like you're working with like fucking literal wild animals. Like they don't even know that you're working with them. And like, and there was this whole section with like a bunch of, I think they were elk, were like migrating through like snow, and then you had the wolves on pursuit, and you had like the wolf following the trail and like going through the trail, and you had these amazing overhead shots. I think it's amazing. Like like if you're talking about like craft of like filmmaking generally, documentary or otherwise, like that is some of the best stuff I've ever seen. And I can't wait to like keep watching
during that orca scene. I was like, I cannot believe that what I'm watching is real, like actual footage. Like, and they just didn't like make this up with visual effects.
No.
Like, it's crazy. And a very tragic scene as well.
Oh my God. One of the ones that got me the most was the birds dancing. There was a scene where it showed a couple different species of birds in the jungle doing their mating dance. Oh my God. So there's this one group of birds where they have like the head male bird, who's like the one who's going to try and impress the lady. And with that, he has like people, like other birds with him who like are incorporated into the dance. So they will like practice the dance. Like they will practice the dance and then present it to this other one. And they're all like in a line on this branch. You got the female there, and then you got the birds there, and they're like doing this weird thing where they're all like hopping over each other in this like way. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Like this is the crazy
It's
shit.
amazing. So he's got a couple of wingmen.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes, he does.
Nice.
But I can't wait to watch more of that. I think it's
cool.
really, really amazingly crafted show so far.
Yeah, I'm keen to watch more of that.
Yeah.
We should get some donuts and watch
Planet.
Our Planet.
Fuck yeah.
Fair play.
Yeah, so I'm more keen to keep
that's
watching
all
Avatar,
I'm really...
to be honest. But,
Eh?
so I'm more keen to keep watching Avatar.
We can watch an episode of
Fargo.
Avatar
We
too.
just stopped Fargo.
I'm not interested in Fargo right now. Like, I'll be keen to come back to it, but right now there are just other things I'd rather be watching.
Yeah, I guess so.
Was I going to say anything else? Oh, I watched Benedetta. These are just films that we haven't spoken about that I watched at in the Shade Film Festival. Benedetta was kind of crazy, but overall as an experience, it maybe wasn't necessarily perfect. I think maybe. I don't know. I just didn't really do it for me. Paris 13th District was really good. Really fun movie. Not a lot style-wise, but what it did have was very distinctive and interesting. And I thought the characters were great. It's basically just a movie about a few different French people all fucking each other. But
cool.
Yeah,
like literally or figuratively? Or both?
Literally. There's a lot of sex in that movie. But it was just, it was a really, really great little film. And
Nice.
Come On, which you will see soon, and you should see as well. Very conversational style, very low key.
Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot.
Just a really brilliant emotional experience that doesn't pound you over the head with emotion. It just lets it happen.
Nice.
And
I feel like we should get your thoughts on Avatar.
On Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah, because last time we heard you talking about it was when I was talking about the theme song, and you were just like, you were like so doubtful about me. And my love for the
okay, that's
theme
interesting.
Yeah.
So my thoughts on it now at this point are
So
basically
we're about 4 or 5 eps into season 3 at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you seen the whole series?
I have seen the whole thing.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is this recent?
Nah.
Right. Okay.
Nah. Like last year, I think.
Oh, right. I don't remember talking about it.
Yeah.
Maybe we did.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
I think I do like it. I very much like it. I think it's a very good show. I think for a show that was broadcast on a children's channel, it is rich in what it does. It has it's very, how to put it?
It's very mature.
Mature, yeah, that's the way to put it. And it's just like, you get these like towns that they come across that are just like microcosms of like different parts of society. Like, you maybe have a crowd, like one place who are like kind of like have this worship of this thing or whatever, like worship of this specific person or spirit or something like that, or maybe they're in denial about something. And then you've got like another, you've got the kind of like Fire Nation is this kind of like almost North Korea like dictatorship, like kind of vibe.
Yeah.
And I think for me that's where it stands out the most, is where you get to see the show like make commentary on wider society and our world. And I think that's incredible. I think as a character arc for like certain characters, it's also very good, especially I fucking forgot his name. You know who I'm talking about. Zuko. Yeah, of course. For Zuko, especially for Zuko as a character, it's so far it's a fantastic arc, and I think he's coming to his own as just like one of the great characters of that show.
Sure.
Yeah.
My only criticism is that Aang is fucking dumb. Sometimes, like I'm just like, you're so stupid.
Yeah.
But I think mostly the comedy is incorporated quite well into the show as well.
I think that's part of his character. He's just like an innocent 12-year-old kid, like, with all this
massive
responsibility.
Power. Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
And also the fact that there's just been like it feels like some people are a bit OP in season 3.
Yeah. I think in general, like it's just a slow build up where you don't see them training anymore. Yeah. Because that can all just kind of happen in the background.
Yeah.
And they slowly rise up a lot. And like between 2 and 3, there's like a big jump, especially for Katara.
Yeah, she's just ridiculous now. Yeah. I'm like, what? You could just destroy everyone like real quick. Just make a fucking massive tsunami.
Like, just you wait, Michael. Just you wait.
But generally, I'm really impressed. I'm really impressed by the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet as. Cool. Good to have that set in stone.
Yes.
It's been a fun app.
Cool.
Yeah.
Rock and roll, baby.
We'll see who takes out the Oscars.
Let's go get some donuts.
All right.
Be sure to leave a comment if you have your own thoughts about the Oscar winners and such, or anything else you might have questions about.
Yep. Comment, like, subscribe, all those fun things.
And what?
And if you watched Power of the Dog and didn't realize that was the story, you should watch it again.
And let us know as well. Let us know that if there's anyone else out. Also, if you also had the same problem with Old Country for Old Men, no country for Old Men.
Old Country for Old Men.
Let me know, because two people, I made a post on Reddit, 2 other people said that they had the same experience.
Okay.
So it's not unique just to me. It's not a me problem.
Yeah.
So let us know, and we'll catch you next time.
Righto.
Bye.
I've been... Oh, we're not doing that part.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
I've been
Matt.
Yeah, I've been Michael.
And I've been Ben. Goodbye.